What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're finally going to be talking about stage 1 on the BMW 435. So as you guys may or may not know, this is my 2015 BMW 435. That of course means it has the N55 motor. And I had recently tuned this car probably honestly a little while ago now to stage 1, but I haven't really made a video showing you guys what it's like, my impressions of it, and there was a reason for that. So since this car has the N55, it means it has that plastic charge pipe. So I mean, most turbo BMWs, I think pretty much all of them have a plastic charge pipe, but the N55 is specifically notorious for having the charge pipes blow, especially on a tuned car, even with a stock car, honestly. So when I had tuned this car to stage 1, I still had the plastic charge pipe on, and there is a reason for that. So when I bought the boot mode tune for this car, I bought a whole bunch of other mods like the intercooler, the down pipe, the charge pipe, but unfortunately it was so freezing cold in New York, it was almost impossible to install all that stuff. And for YouTube, I basically wanted to go ahead and install at least a tune so I can give you guys some type of content. But of course, being aware of how bad the plastic charge pipe is, I didn't want to push the car yet until I had the upgraded aluminum charge pipe. So although I tuned it to stage 1, I didn't upgrade the charge pipe. I would not recommend doing that, guys. I honestly just did it for content purposes so I can show you guys actually how to tune it, so I can do the different burbles and stuff like that. But again, I did not push the car. Honestly, hardly even drove it. So you guys probably saw the video that I did, but here is the upgraded aluminum charge pipe down there. If you guys can see, it's sort of like that textured black. So yeah, obviously again, comes with plastic originally, but now it's upgraded to aluminum. So basically we're good to push this car and not really have to worry about the charge. But anyways, with that said, let's hop inside the car. I want to show you guys my impressions of stage 1, do a couple polls and show you guys what it really feels like. Also, I want to answer a couple questions that you guys had about stage 1. So without further ado, let's hop into the car and let's get into it. All right, so let's get started, guys. Again, we're gonna go for a quick drive, show you guys what it feels like. I'll do a couple polls, but there are a few questions I want to answer beforehand. One question I actually had, and I know someone else had, when you tune your car, what happens to the sport display? Now, I know that might sound funny because probably not a lot of people care about this, but I personally do. I was wondering what happens, and I think someone even commented asking the same thing, so I figured I'd answer it. But as you guys can tell, once you tune your car with boot mode stage 1, the sport display actually updates accordingly. So obviously before, I think it'll go up to 350, I want to say, but now of course it goes to 480 horsepower, and then it goes up to 560 pound-feet of torque. So it's cool that it kind of upgrades that as well, so you can follow the sport display while you drive, even on stage 1. So now with that out of the way, because it was easier to show you guys while the car was parked, let's put the car into drive, and then I'll also put the transmission into sport mode, and I'll also put the car into Sport Plus as well. Obviously, as you guys can tell, the car isn't up to temperature yet, so we will just drive around for a little bit, let it get to temperature, and then we'll really start pushing it. Until then, I want to still talk to you guys about a couple things, one of them being how much power you can technically expect to get with stage 1. Yeah, about power, obviously that's a huge question people have when they tune their cars. How much power can you really expect? So this car comes from factory with 306 horsepower, and I believe it's about the same pound-feet of torque. They say that's to the crank, but BMW is kind of known for underrating their horsepower. So in actuality, I think that's more so what you get to the wheel in this 435 and just the N55 in general. These cars feel a lot faster than that is. I don't know that for sure. I'm sure there's stock dynos out there. For this, unfortunately, I would love to take the car before and after to a dyno, but just, it's not really realistic for me. It's a lot of money, and I don't really know anyone with a dyno, so it's probably more trouble than it's worth. But what I'm gonna do, guys, is there's a website that basically kind of shows what to expect. I believe it's called BMWtuning.com, something like that. It tells you what to expect out of each car, or at least each engine and which stage. So they say for stage 1 with the N55, you can expect about 340 wheel horsepower and about 365 pound-feet of torque. So it's about probably a 40 horsepower, maybe 50 horsepower increase, and then a 65, 75 pound-feet of torque increase. Now that can vary based on which octane you're pushing. So obviously higher the octane, more power. So in my case, I tuned my car to stage 1 with 93 octane. I would definitely highly recommend it if you guys are doing the same. Obviously that's going to be based on where you live and what's accessible to you. So I always go to Costco gas because it's the cheapest. Gas prices right now are absolutely insane, guys. So they have 93 octane, and that's what I always fill up in my car. So that's what I tune my car to. If you guys have 91 octane around you, you can't get to 93. I know in California, that's I think that's a thing. But obviously just tune it accordingly to what you can get. So if you guys tune to a lower octane, do expect less power out of that. So what I'll actually do is throw up a screenshot of BMW Tuning's website's thing where they kind of list out how much you can expect out of the N55 stage 1 with the different octanes, so you guys can get an exact idea. So the car is pretty warm now, so let's see how it pulls on the highway. guys, you definitely feel the power increase. Again, like I was saying before, about 50 horsepower to the wheel-ish, something like that, maybe 40 or 50. You definitely feel it. Stage 1 feels significantly faster than, you know, just stock. Obviously, I've had this car for about 3 years. I know what it feels like stock very well, and this feels... it feels way faster. Now, obviously, again, this is only stage 1. We will be going stage 2 eventually, but just for stage 1, this feels great. So one question I get a lot, guys, about going stage 1 is, will it void your warranty? And to put it simply, yes, it most likely will. I was actually on one of their websites. I believe it was actually Pro Tuning Freak's website. So if you guys didn't know, that's who actually creates boot mode. And they do have a disclaimer kind of saying that it will most likely void your warranty. It was either that website or the other website that I was talking about before. But if you guys are worried about your warranty, if your car's under warranty, you want to keep it, I would avoid flash tuning your car to stage 1. If you guys do want more power and you guys want a way to do that without voiding your warranty, look into like JB4, JB Plus, because you guys can do that stuff and pretty much take it off. I actually had JB Plus when I had warranty on my car, and it was totally fine. Like, they didn't say anything, they didn't void the warranty. So something to look into if that's what you guys want. Another question that I get a lot is, does it affect sound? So it doesn't really impact your sound. Obviously, there's other things that'll affect your sound. You guys probably heard from the driving clips, my car sounds pretty good. It's not too loud, the intake sounds really good. Overall, just the N55 sounds great. But what you can do when you go stage 1, especially with boot mode or like MHD, is you can tune the burbles on your car and you can make them more aggressive. So that's what I did. So it sounds absolutely insane. That's not really associated directly with the stage 1 tune. That's more of like an indirect thing that you can do once you go stage 1, but hopefully that answers it. So let's see how it does now on this twisty road here. Obviously, guys, just if you didn't know, I do have this car on KW V1 coilovers. I also have Michelin Pilot 3 AS tires, I want to say. I'm forgetting the name of it. There are 2 45s in the front and 2 75s in the rear. So I definitely think this car now handles the power a little better than like a stock car with the Pirellis and the 225s all around. Holy. Yeah, this car's definitely fast. So I know I keep on saying it that the car is fast, but guys, like, honestly, stage 1 definitely makes a difference. I will say though, I kind of feel like, you know, to really enjoy the power, I feel like you kind of need to upgrade some other parts of the car, like suspension, like tires and stuff like that, because I don't know, I would feel a little like sketchy almost driving this car on the stock suspension and tires with this amount of power. I don't feel like it's really, you know, fits it. I kind of feel like you need wider tires and, you know, just so the car feels a little more stable and controlled while doing all this, of course, here in Mexico. But yeah, to kind of not like prolong this, honestly, guys, I would say if you're thinking about going stage 1, definitely do it. It makes a big difference. Obviously, a flash tune is gonna give you the ability to eventually go stage 2. I know a lot of people ask me what's the difference like between stage 1 and you know, that chip that I had, the JB Plus. And JB Plus was great for what it was, and you know, for the things that it does. Obviously, JB Plus is a lot cheaper and it's a lot better if you guys have warranty. But with that said, let me just give you guys one last pull. Yeah, this thing feels insane, guys. Yeah, this thing's wild. This car definitely feels fast with stage 1, hands down. Like, it's a totally different car. All right, guys, so we're now back in park, thankfully safe and sound. Sorry I couldn't go too crazy. Obviously, I didn't for obvious reasons, and I'm sorry I couldn't show you guys the speed. Again, probably for obvious reasons. What I kind of want to do for the future is get those P3 gauges, which actually shows you like 0 to 60 times and all that type of stuff. So I think that would be really cool to find a good spot where we can do some launches and get some legit 0 to 60 times. Maybe I'll just tune this car to like stock, stage 1, stage 2, because I'll probably have it at that point, and we can kind of see the difference between all those. I think that would be cool. So if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know down in the comments below. This is a little more laid back and casual. I'm not a professional car reviewer. Definitely nowhere near it, and I'm not a professional race car driver, so I don't want to go too crazy on these roads here in Mexico. But hopefully you guys understand, but hopefully it's entertaining regardless. So I actually ended up parking the 330 next to the 435 because although this video is about the 435 and the tune on the N55, specifically stage 1, I'm sure a lot of you guys have a 430 or a 330 or some type of car with the B48. So just a heads up guys, I will be going stage 1 on the 330 pretty soon. So if you guys want to see that and a review of that, definitely stay tuned for that video. And then of course we'll be going stage 2 on the 435 soon. So if you guys want to see that, that'll be coming soon. So obviously guys, I'm not a race car driver, I'm not a professional reviewer. I know I couldn't really use the best words to describe it, but overall this car is way faster. Stage 1 in my opinion is definitely worth it, especially when you take into consideration all the other things you can do with stage 1, like burble tunes, GTS startup, clearing out like catless downpipe engine codes, all that type of stuff. So if you guys are thinking about going stage 1, I say go for it. Again, links down in the description if you guys need it. Otherwise, stay tuned for the video where I go stage 2 on this car and then stage 1 on the 330 as well. But yeah, with that said, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop it a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.